my classroom, I had a class pet, well, two class pets, Betty and Wilma, and they are rats. Now that I'm no longer in the classroom, I'm passing them on to a friend who's going to take care of them. But before I do that, I am going to take them to the vet. So I got here about 20 minutes early. The minute I put my car into park, it starts pouring down rain. And I don't think I have an umbrella. But that's okay. I'm not made of sugar. I won't melt. So let me introduce you to Betty and Wilma. Betty, Wilma. That's Betty. Betty Rebel. And Wilma Flintstone's back there. Betty's the very friendly one, and Wilma is a little shy. So they're going to the vet because, well, first of all, because they've never been to the vet. Just for a checkup, they're going. But then also, Betty has some little scabs on her back, and Wilma has a case of head tilt, which usually means inner ear problems. Last year when I got them as pets for the classroom, they sat on a shelf and the door of their crate or cage was open and they could just kind of crawl around. They would hardly ever jump off the shelf, almost never. And then when we started this school year, we had, I forget if it was state or corporate, I'm not sure, but someone came by and was like, they can't do that, they have to be in their cage. So they've been living a more confined life this past year, which is okay, especially now that they have these health concerns. I'm kind of glad that they've been in the cage and not running around, because if they had just been running around, then, you know, one of the kids could have touched them, and that would have been a whole fiasco. So I'm glad that they're kind of confined to their cage now. But they'll be much happier when they leave the classroom and get to go live with a friend of mine, a fellow teacher of mine, because then they'll be loved, and, you know, they won't be screamed at. The kids just would be like, ah, because they get so excited about them, or sometimes scared, but they knew that they weren't scary, so they'll be happier. Girls, come here. See, that's her boo-boos back there. We have to be checked. And she has a lump right here. Didn't know about. And then there's Mama with her head tilt. Just looks very quizzical. So confused. So I'm putting the video that I took of the rats at the vet into my editing software right now, and I'm realizing that I didn't explain this very well. So you can see a little scab on Betty, well, not a little scab, a pretty big scab on Betty's back. That's just from irritation from the lice, and they're kind of like fleas, so they would itch, and then when she would scratch, it would open up a spot and it would get infected. The kids did not touch them when they had these scabs. I didn't want you guys to think that I was like putting the classroom children in danger. They were not, even though they're not contagious, I still would not have ever let the kids touch her or anything like that. First of all, I wouldn't want to cause harm to them, and second of all, I wouldn't want to cause harm to Betty. So just wanted to clear that up before we moved on with the week. So this is the 2017 edition of The Milepost. It is a giant book that basically tells you how to get through Canada to Alaska. And we bought it when we were in Georgia, and as you can see, I've been putting stickies in it as I read it. It's really cool because it tells you some really cool things about Alaska and Canada and the rules and how the road conditions are. And we had heard all of these things, like you're gonna have to pack gas. Looks like I'm naked. I'm not naked. I just have a tank top on. You're gonna have to pack gas, and you're going to have extra tires because the roads are gravel and you're not gonna have any paved roads. And the milepost has been really helpful because it kind of tells us which parts of that is true and which parts of that is not true. It's just like old folklore from people traveling it from a long time ago. So that's been helping me this week kind of map out our course, how we're gonna travel from Kansas to Alaska. We also got this really cool book. I went online and requested it, called the Alaska Collection, and it's just a little tourism book about Alaska and the areas of Alaska and the things to do and all of that. The greatest part of it is on the back is my favorite thing, an otter. So cute. Oh, I love otters. They're the best animals. So here I am in my car again, as always. But usually that's where I have time. And I am not quite comfortable enough to just walk around with my phone filming myself yet. But I feel not as weird doing it in the car. So it's my first day as a substitute at the school where I used to be a full-time pre-K teacher. And today they're using me in the early preschool room. And I don't know how I feel about that. I'm a little nervous. I've never worked all day with kids that age. You know, of course I've popped in here and there, but I've never worked such a long shift with such little ones. So that should be interesting. But I am just so thankful and so grateful to be working. So I'm certainly not complaining. But yeah, it should be interesting and I'm excited. And I think it's gonna be a good experience. I'll check in at the end of the day and we'll see how it went. Okay, so yesterday I worked with 2-year-olds all day and it was kind of fun. I think I enjoyed it. It was totally different from what I'm used to, but I think it was fun. Today I worked in the infant room for 2 hours and I loved it. Like I totally loved it. It was so much fun. I got to hold babies and put them to sleep, and I fed some babies. I got puked on, well, spit up on, but it was okay. Yeah, I had a great time. I survived it. I did it. That's 2 days in a row not teaching pre-Kers. Next week, I'm working every day in the pre-K room, so I'll be kind of back in my element, but I've really enjoyed being a substitute because I'm not in control. And that's a nice feeling when you've been in control of the classroom. Well, how dare I think that I was in control of 22 4 and 5-year-olds. That's a joke on its own, but I had to be responsible for the classroom. So it's kind of nice just to go into rooms and say, just tell me what you need me to do and help any way that I can. So I'm really enjoying that. Also, I brought lunch to Brian and he got me some flowers, some tulips. They're called parrot tulips, I think, because of this little ridge on the sides of the petals. But aren't they so pretty? And for no reason at all. Just to be a sweetheart. He's a good guy. I think I'll keep him. So, it's time to give Hercules a bath. He's not happy about it. What's wrong? Is it bath time? You're not happy, huh? Oh no, I want to be done. You're okay? Okay, so we're all done with the water and the bathing. And now the worst part, the dryer. He hates the hair dryer. I don't know if it's the sound or the feeling, but he hates it. Here we go. Herc has a good time at the vet and he cooperates and is nice. He gets a special treat at Starbucks. This is a puppuccino. It's Herc's. Oh my gosh, it just dropped everywhere. Awesome. Well, at least I got it on video, I guess. It's his favorite. It's literally just whipped cream. But you just order a puppuccino and they will make one for you. Please don't let that get down there. It's on my finger too. This is what he gets when he's a good boy at the vet. And he knows too. If he can just make it through the vet, he gets a treat. He's so good. That was dumb of me to put that up there, because I should have known that that's what was going to happen. He was going to get so excited. It's all over. This is my wallet. It's all over my wallet. Don't throw that in my purse. Holy mess.